What a time to be in crypto. So, the SEC has sued Kraken again. Sam Bankman-Fried, or SBF, has been found guilty of all 7 criminal charges. Binance and its CEO, CZ, has pleaded guilty to anti-money laundering charges and U.S. sanctions violations and fined $4.3 billion. That's one of the largest corporate agreements in U.S. history. The other famous Sam, founder of OpenAI, was fired and then rehired within like a week. Yeah, it's not been a good month for Sams. Trash talker Do Kwon just got his extradition approved, and now we wait to see who gets him first between the US or South Korea, who both want him. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is still holding strong around the $38,000 mark, the highest has been for over a year, amid speculation about a mass January SEC approval of all BTC ETFs. I'm telling you, a week in crypto is like 6 months in real life. It can really age you, so invest in eye cream. And if you're an eye cream company, send me an email. So now let's get down to the fun stuff. What is Blast that everyone's been talking about, and is there a new airdrop on the horizon? So let me show you what Blast is all about. This is Blast, and they claim to be the L2 that helps you earn. The only Ethereum L2 with native yield for ETH and stablecoins, backed by your usual VCs, Paradigm and Standard Crypto, along with other CT influencers. So they say that other L2s don't have yield, and therefore the value of your assets depreciate over time. This is supposed to show in comparison the other L2s, which give you diminishing returns over time, versus the Blast yield plus Blast rewards on top. Now, the Blast yield comes from ETH staking and RWA protocols. RWA is real world assets, and it's been quite the buzzword in crypto for the last, I want to say, few months, if not the whole year. And I actually think it's going to play an even larger role in the next bull run. It essentially allows tokenization of real world assets, which is kind of critical to crypto if you think about it. So the yield from these decentralized protocols such as Lido is going to be passed back to Blast users automatically. Most L2s give you a default rate of 0%. On Blast, it's going to be 4% for ETH and 5% for stablecoins. Now, I want to point out that some CT users have been vocal about the wording of L2. Some say Blast is not an L2. Others say it's essentially an L2. Some also point out that users can directly stake their own funds in liquid staking protocols like Lido, because that's essentially what Blast is doing for you. You bridge your funds over, they stake it for you in mostly Lido, which has 2 results, right? So one, it actually pushes Lido to be an even bigger monopolizer in the field of liquid staking protocols, which is kind of like the antithesis of crypto to begin with. It's becoming more and more centralized. But on the other hand, Lido's not going to give you Blast points. And the thing that interests me about Blast is the person behind it. Blast is created by Pac-Man. Now, Pac-Man's the guy who created Blur, and if you're not familiar with Blur, it's the top NFT marketplace protocol on Ethereum with $7 billion worth of NFTs traded. I personally like using it better than OpenSea. They essentially disrupted the space. People hated it, people loved it. It was a very controversial impact on the whole NFT industry, and Blur distributed the 5th largest airdrop in Ethereum history. This happened earlier in around February 2023 of this year, and I remember seeing several people who got thousands, if not tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars in these airdrops, which is almost like free money, because the way you earn these airdrops was in a gamified format of listing and bidding and lending on Blur. And their team members supposedly come from FANG, Yale, MIT, Nanyang Technological University, Seoul University. They've worked on DeFi projects in Web3 before. So I'm getting the sense that it's a pretty good team. And the other contributors have raised $20 million. In addition to the VC funds are Andrew Kong, Hasu, Fubar, Saka, Manifold, and CL. So they're really big players in the crypto space, which gives it more validity. So I'm definitely interested in this next project of his. He's incredibly talented and smart. And while there's never a guarantee in crypto or life, I am confident that this is going to be a pretty big deal. I mean, if Blur airdrop was any indication. So there's that. Now back to how it works, right? First, you have the auto rebasing, which when you transact, you're using ETH, and the dApps are also built around ETH. And then the L1 staking. So this only became possible following Ethereum's Shanghai upgrade. And the ETH yield from L1 staking, initially Lido, which I mentioned before, is automatically given back to users via rebasing ETH on the L2. And then the fun part is the T-bill yield. So they're kind of taking a leaf out of MakerDAO and Tether's book. MakerDAO, they use their user funds to buy and invest in vehicles like T-bills, which right now, because of the high interest rates, give you pretty decent return of around 4 or 5-ish%. And then they just redistribute some of this back to users. However, in Tether's case, they take all of the user funds, they buy T-bills and earn millions and millions of dollars in yields alone, and then they just keep it for themselves. So there's that. Why a new L2? The risk-free rate on existing L2s is 0%. I mean, it is true. If you're not beating inflation, then you're losing money. So a lot of incentives here aligned with people wanting to not only preserve their capital, but also make some returns and potentially qualify for a new airdrop. So right now, the early access airdrop is live. Here is the timeline. The Blast community airdrop is split 50-50 between early access members and developers. They just started this last week, so you're still early. Right now, you can use a code to start earning your early access points. And then just keep in mind though that you can't make any withdrawals until February. And then the redemption period is going to be scheduled in May. So here's how the invites work. You can bridge any amount to earn X amount of points, corresponding amount of points. So the more you bridge, the more points you get. So you get a free access code, you sign up with it, you bridge, and then you start earning. There's also a thing called squads, and this is how squads work. Direct invites make up your squad. When your squad deposits 5 ETH in total, which you'll see right here, you'll get to increase your luck and unlock 10 more invites. Your luck, which is over here, determines how likely you are to receive these super spins worth up to 10 times normal spins. So basically, they're arbitrary multipliers, and you can earn tiny amount of spins per week, obviously, because I didn't bridge that much, but every spin gives you more points. So I still have some codes available. I'm gonna drop them in the description below. I think they can only be used once, so if you're interested, make sure you check them out in the description below. And now, I mentioned before that this is also integrated with Blur users and holders. I'm gonna show you that right now. So Blur Season 2 airdrop just ended, and it was a few days ago, everyone that participated was able to claim their airdrop. That's kind of why you had the pump in Blur leading up to it. Now Season 3 has started, and it's being powered by Blast. A new L2 backed by Paradigm, blah, blah, blah. Redacted from Blast will be airdropped to the Blur community at the end of Season 3. Right now, we don't know what Redacted is. There's not a lot of information, just a lot of speculation. If you go to Holder Points to learn more, so hold Blur to earn Redacted from Blast. Deposit Blur to earn Redacted. You earn points every hour based on how much Blur you hold. Learn how it works. So it says, they've partnered with Blast for Blur Season 3. 50% of the Season 3 rewards will be distributed to Blur holders. Deposit Blur to earn holder points. You can earn points every hour based on how much you hold. And there's also another multiplier. He really likes to make these gamified airdrops. Your multiplier starts at 1 and increases by half a point per month once you make your first deposit. If you withdraw, your multiplier would decrease proportional to the withdrawal. And the lowest is 1x, even if you withdraw everything. When Blast governance goes live in May, Redacted will be distributed based on your total holder score. But to me, it sounds twofold. One way to earn this blast airdrop is to bridge directly by using an invite from somebody or forming a squad. The other way to earn part of it is also from holding Blur. Now, I could be wrong, but it seems like both the Blur community and the Blast community is going to be eligible for this upcoming Blast launch along with the points and airdrop. What a time to be in crypto. That's all I have for you. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on my squad. Bye.